There aren't many teams in the US that are 100 years old, let alone 150. But back in 1874, a group of students started a university rowing team, and over the next century and a half, that team of homegrown athletes will go on to win 19 national titles and 14 Ten Eyck trophies. So when we got the call to go to Madtown, hop on some launches, watch a rowing documentary, and capture this reunion weekend, you better believe we booked our flights that night. So welcome to Madison, home to one of America's most legendary and successful rowing teams, Wisconsin Men's Rowing. Over the course of the next 2 days, over 700 alums came back to campus for the reunion. The committee worked for months with the school's alumni and athletic departments to host a ton of events, kicking it off with a morning tour of Camp Randall.
Bob and I are just dumbfounded at how many people showed up for this.
All right, so right now we're taking a tour through Camp Randall, just kind of seeing all the things that the athletic department has to offer. All the older alumni haven't really seen any of this stuff, so it's really cool to see them react to all this. Should be a good rest of the day. In the stadium, part of our winter training would just be to run up and down those things all day. Just not some things stay the same. We're kind of forced to be creative, and so we're doing stuff like stadiums all the time. In the olden days, they would do it when it snowed, which is actually very dangerous, so never do that. But it's a big part of the Wisconsin rowing culture as well.
Does it feel cool to be on the field?
It does. I've never been on the field, let alone the 50-yard line. This is sweet.
Before the official welcome reception, we ventured down to the boathouse to go out with the team during their afternoon session. While Coach Hoopman was leading the novices,
All right, here we go, 150, 150. Accelerating with that leg drive. That's all it is. Engage your core, accelerate with your leg drive.
Coach Clark was back helping out, taking out the varsity rowers for some rate cap 250s. Hundreds of alums gathered at the terrace and saluted the current team out on the water. As the sea of red oarsmen appeared at the W Club in the south end zone, the story started to reverberate through the halls. Tonight was a night to honor the coaches, and Wisco has had some legendary names at the helm.
I think we represent a dream that a determined athlete can walk into our boathouse, absorb the spirit and the history of our program, put their nose over the keel of the boat, and if they do that often enough, they can win a national championship.
Yeah.
They can even go on to represent their country internationally. That dream is alive in this room, and it's alive today. I want to bring up the architects of that dream. I want to bring up three men, and they did all they could and all they can to make that dream a reality. I'd like to bring up Randall, Chris Clark, and Bo Hoopman.
Michael von Schneiderman was my first freshman coach. And there were many that came along after him, all the way up to Clark here. We could name them all, but you're all sitting here because they were the people, the freshman coaches, that set the program up, got it going, got you people excited about the sport, and made it look like when they could get to varsity, that's when their real experience would begin.
I'm going to do everything I can from this point on to make sure the next 150 years, somebody else from Chicago is standing up here who needed a group of people from Wisconsin who owed him nothing when he needed him the most, when he was the most broken. The guys from this program stood up and saved my life. And there's nothing bigger than that.
Since 1968, there's actually only been 3 head coaches, with the newest one having just taken over this past year. That would be U.S. Olympic gold medalist Bo Hoopman, who actually started rowing at Wisconsin himself.
Having everybody back brings back a lot of memories, and B, I've met a lot of people that I've heard of but never met. Right. And it puts their story to life. All these people made the trek out, made this night special. The more people that we have here, the more special the night is.
Yeah. And then having 3 coaches that have basically
we span
every person
here, and like from Jabbo through Coach Clark, that's like you're talking Jabbo knew guys that rode before World War II. Like they were around the boathouse when he was at the boathouse in the 50s. So it spans generations. It's pretty cool. Oldest sport here. It's pretty awesome. Tomorrow morning's gonna be awesome. Yeah. There's gonna be a ton of people at the boathouse, and we're gonna do pieces in front of the boathouse. It'll be like the biggest home race we've ever had. That's what it's gonna feel like.
Porter Boathouse sits on Lake Mendota and houses the open men, open women, and lightweight women's rowing teams. It was an incredibly flat, gorgeous morning, and the team had 3 by 2 1/4 miles on tap.
Down there, all the way down to the start. The start back to there, here, back to the start again.
The old boathouse used to be where that gray building is next to the red gym. That's where the original boathouse was.
Tell me all about it. He had old photos from it.
Yeah.
So cool.
But like I'd seen pictures, and I think there's pictures in that movie of them like rowing out of the mouth of that, and there's just ice everywhere. but the river was fine, so they'd row on the river like during the winter because it was clear. Coxswains, we're gonna go out. You're gonna basically aim at that fishing boat outside the sailboat. So we're gonna go a little wide on the start, and you're gonna just aim at the flagpole on the edge water.
Lock, holding 26, 140, show 138 across the line now, 39. Squeeze through a little longer finish, hold it here. Good, 2 strokes. Start. There you go, good. 26, holding 139. Breathe, good. 142, stay on it. There you go, 139. Every stroke coming through together.
It's fabulous to be back with all our friends and family from all these years together. Have some good laughs.
Good energy, just great memories, beautiful facility, beautiful day. I mean, we couldn't ask for a nicer day, so.
On Wisconsin.
Yes,
Wisconsin.
Yes, sir.
The whole weekend so far has been tremendous, and I'm sure tonight will be greater. It's amazing because we're all in our memories bigger, faster, and stronger than we ever were, but it's an awesome experience to see everybody back again.
But we're so old, the guy that built this was a year ahead of us in rowing.
Yeah.
And at that time, we didn't have anything that we could row in, so this is phenomenal how it's going, awe-inspiring just to be here in something like that.
Rowing changes your life. It changes your life big time. It changed my life in ways I can't explain. That if I could go back to any time in my life, it would probably be the 4 years I rowed. And to still be here, you know, we had a really good crew my junior year. There's 4 of us left. The other 5 are not around anymore.
We 3 rowed right against right with each other on the varsity boat.
Plow 2 and 3 in the varsity boat in 1963.
Oh my gosh, down 3.
Yeah.
Front wheel drive.
So at 80 years of age, just to think that the 3 of us are still here.
Last night, our coach, Randy Jablonic, we were in his first freshman crew, so that's how old we are. But he talked last night about rowing being something that's part of your life. It's a family that you depend on and you would do anything for, and that would stay with you the rest of your life. And he was so right.
I love the guys I rowed with, even Tom.
After the morning practice, everyone found their way downtown to the Orpheum Theater.
My name's Ian Tunney. I'm a coxswain from the class of 2020 here at Wisconsin. Today we are premiering my film, Wisconsin Where They Row. This team has kind of been a really big part of my development as a filmmaker, and you know, rowing doesn't get too much professional media outside of, you know, that guy right there behind the camera. We just want to kind of show the history of the program. The team's 150 years old this year, and kind of get everybody up to speed with the history of everything, but then also what we're going to do moving forward into the next 150 years. So should be really fun. We're expecting a huge crowd. Exactly 1 year and 1 day from idea to the premiere. So
we only maybe like 120% over budget.
Yeah,
it was well spent.
No. In the history of the program, the alumni have kind of stepped up whenever there's, you know, issues regarding the safety of the team. Things like, you know, World War I, World War II, the Great Depression, yeah, we're 150 years old, so the team has kind of gone through that. And now, recently, the pandemic as well has also had its effects, so the alumni together kind of just stepped up as they usually do, and it's been a team effort this whole way through. There's about 70 people involved. Heart's pumping, dude.
Yeah, it's starting to go, right?
Starting to go. Starting to go. There's people outside. People are showing up. It's huge. This is a very full circle moment for me. A lot of my filmmaking experience started from this team, just kind of having the coach's camcorder on the launch. One of the first big interviews actually that I conducted was with Coach Hoopman. And I forgot to hit record for the 30 minutes, right? Like, it's crazy. And yeah, you guys will see some footage and hear some things that haven't been seen by other people in over 75, 80 years. We found a lot of archival stuff. It's very exciting. Hopefully we all get on the same page, kind of see how great this team is, because yeah, it's just been a hell of a ride. So thank you guys.
It's got all the cruise shells and stuff on it. And I was so surprised by that.
I'm surprised you picked that up at like, the thrift shop or something.
Well,
Thank you guys, just thank you. There's a lot of guys that started off as novices in this room. This team taught me everything I know about my work ethic. I just wanted to give back in a way that I knew how to. As a young person, seeing all that history, like the 1951 IRAs and the 1930 Poughkeepsie Regatta, I'm just seeing all this effort and seriousness being put towards all these competitions, and it's like football today. The more I looked back, the more I was able to find. It really is just an amazing thing. I mean, we're just some random, Midwest team in the middle of nowhere, right? But it's so much more than that, and I just wanted to share that with everybody. So let's finish the weekend strong. We got basically 12 hours left, so. Dude, we did it. I think we're gonna do a little more changes for like a public cut. So that's great. We found that on a film reel in Maryland in the National Archives, never digitized ever. So we were likely the first people to see that since '51. We had to hire a guy to sift through the archives for us and then digitize it himself, and then...
That was amazing, just like, oh my gosh. I think that film is the best thing to happen to this program in a long time. What you bet. It was incredibly good history. It was great to hear the coaches talk about it, but even better was watching some of the old 50 IRA champions and seeing video of them and not just a picture. It was incredible.
So your father was in the 51 boat?
He was the 6th seat in the 51 boat. And understand, you just interviewed Bob Esposito, author of Fibring Fever, 4-time Olympian. Cut that.
Ask permission next time.
This is Mr. Ben Porter, and he's the one who stepped forward and provided $1 million gift to get the boathouse built. The largest gift that had been made for the boathouse was what, about $250, wasn't it?
$250.
Yeah.
The boathouse was half built, and the university didn't know whether there'd be enough money to even complete the boathouse. And I asked, why isn't it got a naming on it? And we're halfway through it. And they said, nobody has made a large enough contribution. And I said, well, how much do you need? And he said, we need $1 million. Fortunately, I was in Seattle and I made some investments in Microsoft. So I had a bunch of money that I didn't have to work for. So I said, well, hell, I can do this. And so it became the Porter Boathouse, and I put $1 million into it. I'm still really surprised at the absence of our contributions for a sport we all love. It just doesn't make any sense.
And some of it is just that people need to know that there are opportunities. Part of this whole 150th celebration is for us to be able to inspire the crew alumni and let them know, like the film we just saw did, that having scholarships for our crew is going to lift the crew up, and just what those opportunities are.
What do you guys think of the movie?
That was phenomenal.
It was sweet.
Yeah.
It was great.
Ian, you did such a good job. Come in, man.
Oh my God. I put you as the example for what a good row is.
Yeah.
You see that? Dude, oh my God.
Everyone broke off into their own groups, and we all reconvened at the Cole Center for the official 150th anniversary celebration. And boy, did the organizing committee outdo themselves.
Here with the lights, but this is unbelievable.
If you want your team to win, you better swallow that fish head.
Let that sink in for a moment. That is 8 decades of Wisconsin rowers that are here. And that's why events like this, for me, are so powerful so meaningful, and so special.
Thank you for the lessons learned in the boat. Thank you for the lessons learned of life. One of the things that I've cherished most, though, is getting random calls from Jabbo. And of late, there were many, but I wouldn't trade that for the world. Coach Clark, I still can't come to just calling you Clark, but I just did. And to Bo, if this is any indication, if this is any boost in confidence, we got your back. We got great things ahead of us.
I don't know what is going to happen with this new model. I know athletes are going to start getting paid. There's been lawsuits like every week. Things change constantly. We've had to cut our budget. We've had to cut our squad size, which has hurt us because we're still living on that 19th century recruiting model of finding guys that soar. We need to find athletes. It's always been the mission. It's always the who we get, who is in those boats.
But I do need your help to preserve the spirit and success of this program. I'm asking you, no matter what you can do, there's an open invitation. I love hearing from alumni. I love seeing alumni. I love that they care. With your help, we can do this on Wisconsin.
Look around the table that you're sitting in. Look at the faces. Who are these people to you? When you're done filling this out, I want you to claim your seat in the boat by dropping this pledge card. Let me show you how this is done.
We had
This has been an incredible weekend. I don't think I really realized the scope of the Wisconsin rowing program. This has been very special, you know, to have over 600 former Badger alumni and family here this weekend. It was executed flawlessly.
It's been great seeing some of my old guys from classes that I was rowed with. Also just hanging out with the older oarsmen as well. Just getting to meet them, getting to know them, hearing their experiences, their stories, and how it's kind of still the same kind of guy going through here. We're all just Badger oarsmen, we're a family. So it's been a great experience overall.
Inspiring, it was wonderful to see all the teammates. Brought back a lot of great memories.
It has been an incredible event, especially being able to cover it from an outside perspective and just be able to tell the story of this program and its history. From the 8 decades of rowers that were here to ensure the next 150 years of this team is pretty impactful. From Ian Tunney's documentary through to this incredible event where you are in a stadium with a boat hanging off of the rafters. I'm very lucky to have been here. It's my first time.
Thanks so much for coming on Wisconsin. And that's a wrap.